Okay, so now we're going to look at some of the upcoming events. I'm really excited to talk to you about. Okay, so Azuki is one of a somewhat famous of sorts. He is the leader of the furry.
FPT Heaven, yeah. Azuki
Yeah.
Fumiko, he's the owner of
Yeah,
the world.
lot of energy coming into that world that requires a ton of moderation, as you can imagine. And he and I were chatting recently, and we came up with this somewhat pun or funny thing of understanding the dark arts of malinformation. And so he's going to be doing a event teaching us about understanding how trolls think when they're actually creating malicious content and how to recognize what they're doing and how to investigate things so you get the best information and can protect your community as much as possible. And he's got a whole bunch of pieces that he's learned over time. He's definitely been a ninja at a whole other level in learning how to deal with, hundreds of events per week where people are complaining or reporting or ending up getting banned. And so he has a whole process and he's going to teach us about that. Oh, yes, Mary is pointing out you can do it inside the app. Oh, that's good to know. See, I think this will be a really good kind of alternate summit for people to come together and actually look at almost like best worst practices for trolling and spreading malicious information and have that conversation and recognize when it's happening. What are the signs? Yeah. So I'm very excited that Azuki's going to bring that to us. He had to work today, so he couldn't present this himself, but he sent this as a sneak preview. More information on that soon. And actually, before we go to this one, any questions or thoughts on that event? The console is a pretty dangerous tool in post-server side world. Yes, thank you. Any emojis about the event? Who thinks they're going to come to that? The dark arts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe. Okay, an
That's
anger
the wrong
emoji.
one again.
Fire emoji.
It was
Yes.
supposed to be fire.
Okay, yay, no worries. And pumpkin emoji. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think that'll be good for us to like really just go, okay, let's try on the hat of a mischievous, conniving, and possibly dark, sinister troll and figure out how to do this backwards and so we can protect ourselves. Different level of the Drool Project. Some of you maybe have seen Tom Nickel in our leadership summits before, which is mostly when he's come. He is designing this really interesting concept for leaders and professionals within VR. And he's offering this course to bridge makers with the expectation that there will be some kind of donation to bridge makers, not to him. So he's doing this eldership thing where he's like, hey, I want to contribute to bridge makers. I want there to be success and sustainability. I'm not necessarily going to donate myself to bridge makers, but I'm going to donate this course to bridge makers. And then I want bridge makers to rise to the occasion and invite some kind of donation, excuse me, so that everybody is placing the proper value on a course like this. Now, some of you in here have been to Tom's events, very, very skilled facilitator. If you've ever, which most people have, had conversations about death and with friends or family members, they can be really awkward and confusing and totally disorienting, right? But when Tom hosts these conversations, he's just incredibly gifted at helping us kind of gently move towards this uncomfortable place. And so we don't have a date set yet for when this is going to happen, but are there any questions about this or thoughts about? Oh, welcome, Venia. No worries. Oh gosh. Well, take a breath. We're still working on our slides, so you got some time. No worries. I've been there. Okay, we have our next presenter here. Yay! Let's give Venia lots of heart emojis that she came. She's here. Yay! We're glad you're here. No worries. Okay. So, any other thoughts or questions on Tom's event? He does
Okay.
have a weekly death Q&A that you can attend connected to the community trip. And it's really impactful. It doesn't just have to do with death. It has to do with the death of visions, of expectations, of titles, identities, any kind of transitions that we're in. We're in a society that is very death phobic. I think there's a better word for that, but we are very anti-death in mainstream society. And Tom is about bringing us back into the ritualed conversation of making space for that and learning how to actually grow through it and learning what letting go looks like. And so I'm really excited about this. I think that even if you don't have a death in your life, you will have deaths in your life. It is very unlikely that anyone here will escape their entire life before they die without having people in their near vicinity who die. I just had somebody who I was at one point very close to die, and I found out about it this last week. It kind of can take your breath away, even if it happened a while ago and I didn't know about it. It's intense. So I'm curious. Yeah, heartbreak. Thank you. I'm curious with emojis, who would be interested in learning about death and going through this process? Learning about other people dying. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Very cool. 5, 6. Amazing. I think this is a way to, we have human on purpose events with Bridgemakers and pizza to go with death. Thank you. We have this human on purpose event series with Bridgemakers where we explore what's uncomfortable, and we use our virtual environments to look deeply into that. But this is the next level, and I think especially for community leaders who definitely have community members dealing with death, this could be a really important event to learn how to get comfortable around that as much as possible and set boundaries and kind of understand the context to death that we don't ever have time to explore. Okay, next we have an event on Tuesdays now. Some of you have seen images about the DOT model, which is a conflict resiliency model I developed about 10 years ago. It's pretty much the foundation for everything I do, is understanding how to work with people through these emotional cycles of conflict and resilience. And so Nimsy is one of our helpers, and she is an amazing world builder and is creating a DOT model world. And this is a sneak preview of it. On Tuesday, she's going to do her working session on this by streaming it to Discord. And at the end of every hour for the last 10 minutes will be room for people to ask her questions, give her feedback, comment on it. And it's going to be a 2.5 hour stream. The very last half hour is going to be, it's a magnetic field, and it's a donut, right? It's a torus. And those balls spinning around are kind of holding those vortices up. But my hope is that especially people who are interested in world building and who are also world builders and have little tips and tricks will join in and just kind of have that on in the background and listen and chime in and offer Nimsy some feedback so that it can be the best possible world. Ultimately, my hope is this world will be independent of me and will be a teaching tool for anybody to go to individually or in groups and learn about conflict dynamics and how to work through them with each other, and how to reset our nervous systems. So in the very center there, you see that human being standing there. So that human being is going to have some version of a heart inside of them. And when they're in fear mode, we're going to hear the heartbeat beating really fast. And we're going to see the wavelengths of that world reflected in a kind of scary, jolty way. And when we go put our hand on that heart, the heart is going to calm and we're going to start to see the conflict dynamics and how to redirect those into connection again. So I hope you'll all join me for that. I'm really excited. I've been doing this with her for about a month on Tuesdays, just us, and we've been having so much fun. We were like, we should invite everyone else to this party. It's so fun. Who here has any questions or comments or curiosities on this? I think you might come to that. Emojis won't be coming. Okay. Hands up. And I loved the shocked emojis that just came out of multiple people. That's really good to know. Isn't it exciting? It's weird, but it's exciting that we could have this world. And I do think that, yay, thank you. I do think this world is going to require some community support. Nimdzi is a clever builder, and I think to make it quest friendly especially, it's going to need a lot of clever minds.